I was definitely a bit of a convert to crowdfunding. When I first saw it, first thought in my head was, that shit ain't gonna work. And I was like, nah, this is a myth. Money comes like that, no way. From the audience, absurd. So I set up a campaign, did some research. There was very little research at the time. So I ultimately just took the meager research that I did have, and then I just made a campaign that I thought I would contribute to. And it was for my, I guess it's my 8th short film, Cerise. And I set a goal of $5,000, and I raised $6,300. I raised the $5,000 in 2 months of hardcore, like, promoting and putting it, doing things for the campaign. But by the end, I raised an extra $1,300 without doing anything because people had taken notice of it. And that, coupled with the fact that I did get a bunch of contributions from people that I never met, big contributions, $500, $1,000, I could not for the life of me figure out why these strangers were giving me money. And then it dawned on me after the second day, it ain't about the money. These are people that wanted to be a part of something bigger than themselves. They wanted to be a part of a community. That's what crowdfunding is. And when you look at the word, it's in the word staring us right in the face. The crowd always comes before the funding. I personally believe that everybody should crowdfund, at least once. Everybody should do it. But there are, the honest to God truth, there are people who probably shouldn't, and there are plenty of people who are ready to do it right now. And it's not necessarily to say that you shouldn't or a person shouldn't crowdfund. You need to be ready. What does ready mean? You look at the people who should crowdfund right now. They've done the research. They have a project that is good, not just a project, a film that their mom and dad and family members and close friends think are good and say you should do that, but a project that has been vetted by their audience. The fact that they have an audience is another reason why you might be ready to crowdfund if you've been building up your personal audience or your audience for that film in particular already. I'm talking 2 weeks to 6 months in advance of a campaign. You should crowdfund. Folks who shouldn't, let's be honest, it's the people that aren't doing the research. It's mostly the hobbyists, the ones that just want to make a film versus I want to be a filmmaker, right? The person who wants to make a film is going to say, I want to make this film and I need $100,000 to do it right. But they've never made a film before. Doesn't mean they shouldn't crowdfund. Crowdfund a $2,000 short. Start there, because $2,000 is going to be hard, especially if you haven't done the full research. So it's a kind of mix of, have you done the research? And with that research, you will learn that you should have an audience built in already, or it doesn't have to be 1 million people, obviously. It could be 200 people that really want to see your film when you get it made. And if you do that, you are kind of ready to start crowdfunding right now. If you haven't done that, it's time to start doing that. Get it rolling. Because again, as I said before, yes, everybody can crowdfund and everybody should, but the work starts months before you even think of crowdfunding. I'll give a perfect example. Me. This is how I became a convert and was like, crowdfunding will never work, and then all of a sudden I'm like a preacher man about crowdfunding, is because I did the work for 6 months before I ever heard the word crowdfunding. The thing was, I didn't know I was doing the work because I was just on Facebook, on Twitter, I was going to events, and I was enjoying myself. I was genuinely having a good time meeting new filmmakers and talking about movies that we both liked. And I did all that for 6 months, and then I found out about crowdfunding, and I said, I'm gonna make sure crowdfunding doesn't work because I wanted to disprove it. And I spent 3 more months researching and setting up my campaign, not for failure, for success. And success from people that, honestly, wasn't my friends and my family 100% giving me the early money and giving me the early attention that I wanted. It was people that I had been talking with at these events, on Facebook, on Twitter, simply because I put in the work.